Welcome to Three Geeks Podcast, number 12. Tonight we have Dan, Max, Jason, who's away right now. He'll eventually join us in a few, and Mike from Mike McG TV. And myself, Phil. Recently we, I'm just the voice that's just there, no picture. But no, recently we brought in some additional help for social media outreach, and we would like to extend our gratitude to Christie Classic. She has definitely helped us out a lot and lightened the load, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we got 2 new Twitter followers too in the 2 days she's been helping us out. So I mean, that's like solid work.
Oh, Max, you're so awesome. You got out of 0 there, but yeah, that works too. But all right. So, do we want to kick off the topics, or has anyone got anything they want to touch on?
There's plenty of things I want to touch on, but that's for a different podcast.
Yeah, we're not going there, Max. Sorry.
No, I went and saw the Bond movie today.
Oh, was this the one you were sleeping in?
No, that was Ghost in the Shell. This movie was much better.
Okay. So you liked it?
Yeah, it was solid. I think Mission Impossible gets the crazy, ridiculous spy movie of the year, but Bond it's solid. It's a solid action flick. 6.5. I'm gonna give it out of 10. Go check it out. Definitely worth seeing in the theater.
But what about that twist ending?
Yeah, it's super crazy. It gets real.
It gets real. That's all that happens. Suddenly, it's James Bond has to do paperwork.
Yeah, that would have actually been really great. They try to throw a little bit of comedy in there. They try to also hit all the like classic James Bond tropes. And you can kind of tell where they're like just making a James Bond movie versus like trying to make a good spy movie. So that kind of detracts from it. So that's why I don't want to say it's like 6.5 out of 10. But again, the stunts are all pretty sweet. There's lots of cool action. He actually does have some gadgets in this one. So I mean, it's good stuff, but it's not great stuff.
I gotcha. So would you say it bridges the gap between what seemed to be the new James Bonds, which was a very different route, almost Bourne, I guess, and kind of goes back to the old ones?
Yeah, it definitely tries for that, but I think that's also one of the detracting factors of it is that they're not trying to, at least the Casino Royale into Quantum of Solace James Bond, at least that was them trying something new with James Bond, and everyone's like, this is stupid, I want James Bond. So they've been slowly getting back to the gadgets and and the women and like all the James Bond stuff. Like in this movie, like the chick, they've known each other for like 2 days. They had sex, and then she says, "I love you." Like full on, just why? Why are you in love with this person? I mean, like what happened? There's just some really stupid stuff in there. Again, really great action, lots of good stuff, but yeah, it gets pretty hokey. I mean, like I thought that was like Roger Moore levels of hokiness with some of the dialogue there.
Yeah, definitely. From what I saw and what I heard about it, I still want to go see it, but especially in theaters because I heard some of the scenes are really good. But yeah, I figured that they were trying to go back to that, and especially it kind of makes sense because I think Sony right now is losing the rights, so maybe that's going to free them up. I don't know. I think they help because I really loved Skyfall. I thought they did some really interesting things with it without going to the hokiness. But
yeah. But Skyfall was still more of the like, okay, we're setting everything straight again, and this time they just took it to the nth degree.
Yeah, very true. All right. So let's see, which topic should we touch on first?
Has anybody watched Ash vs. Evil Dead yet?
All right, there's Jason.
Has anybody watched it yet?
No.
Nope.
You guys all fail.
So Jason, you want to give us your review of episode 2? I think
they're up to 3. I'm just gonna Sam Raimi directed the first, and quality, kind of expected to dip. It doesn't. The show is phenomenal. I'm not going to go into any spoilers, but it is funny. The parts that are horrific, and it is so good. It is so good. It's the best half hour on television, in my opinion, right now.
How much tree rape are we talking? Because I can't deal with that, man. That really pulls me out of the first movie.
Absolutely none. It's the comedy of Army of Darkness. Like, it's exactly what you expect out of Bruce Campbell now, and it's got, I wouldn't say it's got the horror of the second one. It's probably the best way to put it. But it's more comedy than horror. It's blended very, very well. It is very, very funny. I highly recommend it. It is so good. That's all I got for you.
So good.
It is. I'll send you guys my stars information. You can watch it later.
Jason, you're too funny.
I am vanishing for a few more minutes.
I think what you meant to say, Jason, is that we can all pay for our monthly Stars online streaming subscriptions and watch it through that.
That's exactly what I meant, Max.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So, considering it's Tuesday and Max just finished watching The Flash, which I'm a little bit jealous of, but that's okay. Yeah. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with Ezra Miller on being the big screen Flash. I don't know if everyone got to read the article I sent out, but I'm going to read his little quote that they pulled out because I thought it was ridiculous. I'd like, and this is coming from Ezra Miller, Entertainment Weekly, asked them kind of like, what do you plan for the big screen Flash? He's like, I'd like for it to be an exploration of a human being, a multi-dimension human being to speak. He actually talks about, I didn't mean the pun there. I don't know if he did or didn't, whatever. I'd like the character to have many dimensions, but really I'd like him to have the usual dimensions we know and love, and then some extra ones that are part of the amazing consideration of this superhero. I hope to realize him as a person, and I think what's most exciting for me in superhero mythologies is when we feel the humanity of someone who is heroic, or the heroism of someone who is flawed, a flawed, deeply human person. I thought this was the biggest bunch of BS. I was like, if you can't say anything, don't say anything. Or else, if this is really what you think, oh my God, I do not want to watch this movie or see your character. But that's just maybe me on my little soapbox. I just read this and I was like, this is just, why? Why would you even talk? I didn't get it at all. Dan?
Philip, that is a textbook answer to what you say about any role that you are about to take. You want to play a person who's very deep and yet flawed, so the audience can know, they can touch this person like he's real, but he's still a superhero because he's the Flash. And yeah, the quote actually says nothing, but it sounds pretty good until you break it down.
Yeah, I guess so, Dan. I mean, because just as I was reading it, I was like, really? Really? You're saying this? And I was like, and they're writing this down? I would literally, if I were be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yes,
no, dude,
you're an actor.
If you were doing the interview, you would absolutely write that down. Like, believe what this idiot is saying. Please keep going.
I guess that's true. But
a little bit when you're writing it down, but you would write it down.
Oh my, Mike.
That is the most generic, statement from an actor whose part and whose movie is still in development. Expect great stuff eventually down the line and multifaceted characters in this movie production that I'm involved in. Yeah, I mean, it's the most. It's your stereotypical pretentious actor getting into the role and not exactly saying anything about the role. So good for him. I don't know why they just don't put TV universe to movie universe at this point. Because by the time he shows up, everyone's going to know who Grant Gustin is far better. So it's just like, they'll be like, why isn't he doing The Flash?
No, but in the TV, there's already different Flashes. So I mean, like they already explained it away. They've already got an excuse to why there's a different Flash. As long as he's got the red suit with the lightning bolt on it, you're gonna know who it is. They don't like. I like Gustin.
Yeah, Grant Gustin. Yep.
I like him on the show. I don't know that he's got like movie chops, but then again, like who says this Ezra Miller asshole's got movie chops? Like he seems like kind of a douche. So I'm okay with them using a different Flash because they have in the Flash already set up the multiverse. So there's different Flashes out there. This could just be another one. I think it'd be cool if they went Wally West instead of Barry Allen. That's also an option that they got. Even though I'm pretty sure they said that they're going Barry Allen.
They did say Barry Allen.
They could have been lying. That happens too.
You're hoping, Max, but go ahead.
I mean, like it would just be interesting if they went that way. Like if they went with Miles Morales, Spider-Man versus Peter Parker, it would have been interesting just because we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, and I agree, and I'm actually surprised because I actually agree with you, like that they don't go a different character because from the TV universe, and especially as popular as it's starting to become, they're going to know who the Flash is. So you can introduce a Flash who happens to be Wally West and then explore that and give you a different dynamic. But I don't know. I thought it was. I read it and I was like, this is going to be a topic. This is just utter silliness. Why even talk?
And also, like the cool thing about Wally West is he was never as fast as Barry Allen. So if you're having trouble with the fact that the Flash is too powerful or that you've shown too much of his biz, like you can just like, oh, this is Wally West and he's got trouble doing all the stuff that Barry Allen is doing, and that's another dynamic that I've always kind of liked. And I don't know. I'd like to see a Wally West.
There's your flawed character.
I'm the slower Flash.
and he's human, and he's deep, and he's got emotions and real feelings, and he's got a family that he cares about, and he's a person who eats food and breathes air. So I'm really gonna bring that to the screen.
And I am the man to bring it to you.
Acting.
Oh God! All right. So to kind of stay in the DC universe, there was a few things that I thought were interesting, but I'm kind of curious to hear your all's opinion on the Justice League Dark casting rumors. I'm not sure I quite get it, but for some reason they're literally saying Ewan McGregor and Colin Farrell could be either role here of Constantine or Etrigan the Demon. Didn't understand why they wouldn't be going for one role, and they go, whatever. If I don't get the role, I'll take the other guy.
Etrigan.
Etrigan?
Yeah. Sorry, I was like Etrigan. Intriguing.
Yes. Gone the form of man.
And then you had Monica Bellucci as Madame Xanadu. And then I just love these other two. Comedic Presence as Deadman, whoever that is, and oh God, I still can't believe this is.
They're gonna get Ezra Miller. He's generic enough.
He's got to be comedic though. He's got to be comedic generic.
T.J. Miller as Deadman. There
you go. And then you have Hispanic/Black for Zatanna. I was like, what?
But there's one more, Philip.
Well, Swamp Thing, they didn't say anything. They said that the previous director, who may or may not be even attached anymore, which is, oh gosh, why did I forget his name? Guillermo del Toro, wanted Ron Perlman to play Swamp Thing.
That would have been cool.
But who knows if that's even going to happen, so I didn't even bother to write that down. Because I was like, well, that's his wish, and he is a producer, maybe, and I don't know what level of involvement he's going to have.
But also, if Ron Perlman is in that movie, why aren't they making the new Hellboy movie?
That's because they can't get it funded.
Like, I don't know if I want to see the Guillermo del Toro Justice League Dark movie before they finish up the Hellboy series. I mean, these guys aren't getting any younger,
I agree, but it's actually not the Guillermo del Toro Justice League Dark anymore. They pulled him off. He is barely a producer now.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Fair enough then.
So, I mean, I thought it would be interesting to see Ron Perlman as that. I don't know if I care about it. I just can't see Colin Farrell as Constantine, but maybe that's just me. I can at least buy Ewan McGregor. I could see him pulling that off.
Oh, Ewan McGregor for sure. Get him in anything. He's the other half of the good things that came out of the Star Wars prequel. But yeah, Monica Bellucci is allowed to act in whatever the hell she wants for forever. I don't care. Get her in anything. Who else was in that? Black Tina for Zatanna. Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
We need a black Latina chick. I don't know. Like,
is that Zoe Saldana's territory?
There we go.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
There you go. We just casted it.
Oh no, she's Guardians of the Galaxy though. She's already wrapped up. She's playing for the other team.
Playing for the team.
She's on the Marvel team. We're talking DC over here.
Yep. I like your innocence, Max. I like it. Dan?
Can I just have my movie, guys? None of this like, no, they should make Hellboy. Just shut up, and I want Justice League go.
Well, but Dan, it's guaranteed that whoever they cast, they're going to explore the many facets of the characters and bring much dimension and much pathos to the roles that they've been assigned in this movie that's still in development.
Yeah.
I'll take the Star Wars guy for 100, please.
I like it. Turn it into Jeopardy.
Hey man, every superhero poops, and we're going to explore that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, with, like Constantine reading a book on the shitter. There you go.
Oh man. Yeah, isn't that Deadpool territory as well?
I hope they go there. It's something we haven't seen in superhero movies yet. Just a superhero on the can.
Still in full costume. Just taking the toe.
I saw Spider-Man in the can. He just wasn't on the can. So.
Oh, that's so true. That's funny though. All right, so let's we're gonna hop over to the other team, as Max said. We're gonna talk a little Gambit, which is I didn't quite understand how they described this. Like, it's a heist movie / sexy thriller. I was trying to grasp this. I'm like, I've never really looked at Ocean's 11 as a sexy thriller. Heist movie, sure. Italian Job, okay. Heist movie, not sexy thriller. I'm missing something here.
More like The Bank Job with Statham.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, maybe.
Or The Usual Suspects.
The Usual Suspects would be cool, but there's no way in hell that's happening. Dan?
Usual Suspects was not a sexy thriller. Unless you find...
Dude, Gimpy Kevin Spacey is sexy.
Yeah, I mean... I'm not going to step on your preferences at all, sir, but...
And you're going to stand for him to have those preferences.
When I read it, it's more like the Thomas Crown Affair.
Okay.
You get Pierce Brosnan, and there's art paintings, and I don't remember the rest of the movie. So,
there was Rene Russo.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that also happened.
But I take you back to several episodes ago.
Okay.
When you're making a sexy heist film, what's better than having oh God, I forget his name now, Benicio del Toro playing Gambit? You see? It all comes full circle, but they got the wrong guy.
That's very true. But yeah, so I don't know. Mike, do you have any opinions on that?
Basically, you just listed the very generic formula for every sexy heist thriller ever. I'm gonna keep it simple tonight. It's like, yeah, oh wow, it's gonna be sexy, it's gonna be intriguing, it's gonna have espionage and a heist. That's at least 10 movies every year, so cool. This one will have a mutant who throws cars.
Yeah.
They're also going to explore the very human side of Gambit and like him and his everyday struggle, like when he wakes up in the morning and he's got that dragon breath, and he's like, okay, do I brush my teeth right now? Do I wait it out? Like that struggle that you go through, they're gonna get in there. They're gonna get in there with this movie.
But
And
sorry. that in post-production, they're just going to throw in a whole lot more of Hugh Jackman.
Right. And also, I really hope that whichever director that they supposedly got on here, but the ink isn't dry yet, I hope that he quits. I don't want this movie to get made.
Josh Trank for Gambit.
Oh my God. God no. Well, I mean, I guess that would make sure it's an epic fail, and they won't lose the rights to the X-Men, Max, so that doesn't really save you.
Never again. Never again.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I read that and I was like, really? Whatever. I'm gonna move on. I didn't quite understand why they even. Again, I guess it's like what Mike's saying. Let's throw out some generic, interesting words that are gonna catch people's attention, and see if they can latch on to emptiness.
Is this one of those not actually news weeks where we got a bunch of like fluff? Did we quit smoking on the podcast again? Is that what happened?
We're not far.
With very bland stories. So.
That is very, very true, Dan and Max. Yeah, so you're not far off. I mean, there is a rant here that I really don't get the guy. I read the article. We'll see. We'll talk about that. But where do I want to go? I guess we can get Mike to do his Matthew McConaughey, because apparently.
Whoa! I have thoughts.
No, Jason has thoughts. Okay, go.
I agree with everything you guys said. It is hard to get behind a Fox mutant project if the name Bryan Singer is not attached to it, because. I mean, for Max, it's hard to get behind any Fox mutant projects, but
thank you. I was going to clarify, but thank you.
Especially if it doesn't have the name Bryan Singer on it, I'm skeptical until I see the movie. I'm one of the people who has liked everything Bryan Singer has done in the X-Men universe, but everything that he has not done has been something that you should flush down the toilet because it sucks. So we'll see.
Matthew Vaughn, he made okay movies.
Yeah, he did. Okay. I stand corrected, Philip. I'm talking about the Wolverines and X-Men 3.
Okay.
And Fantastic Four too, but that's not an X-Men movie. All right, that's all. That's my thoughts, Philip.
All right.
Thanks for including me on my podcast. And to correct you, Max, since Christie did the social media, we've gotten 30 Twitter followers.
No, I just double checked. It's actually 2.
You must yell at her a lot, because she texted me and goes, "Do you care if I ask you questions? Because if I ask Max, he's just gonna scream at me."
Well, yeah, but I've known her a lot longer than you. I've earned it.
She seems like a nice person. I don't see.
Yeah, well, you don't know her now, do you?
Guys, stop enraging the help so they quit, okay?
Whatever, man. I got her here for free. I don't care how long she stays.
Wow.
Aww.
Such venom.
If you are listening, Max's thoughts do not reflect those of Three Geeks Podcast. Just the thoughts of Max and Max alone.
We really need to start throwing that disclaimer on the front of the podcast.
We should attach that to your undercard, so that way anytime you show up on the camera, there's a little asterisk.
All right. Philip, take us into the next story.
All right, so the latest rumor is Matthew McConaughey is going to be in the Dark Tower, and he has been given his option, which I guess he's earned at this point, of hero or villain, and he's leaning more towards the villain, which I think is just the Man in Black. I can't remember the hero's name. I thought this was interesting. I think we're giving him more props than he's due, but maybe I'm a bit jaded. I mean, I want to see the movie, but I haven't heard who the director is, so I'm not sure. I can't remember if we've discussed that previously. But to me, I guess, maybe, I could kind of see it. I don't know. Dan?
I stopped reading the books after the Goofy flashback one. I don't really care. But, I mean, But having Matthew McConaughey only helps your project, so
This is true. This is true. We're going to go to the man that keeps it simple, Mike.
I'm sure it's going to be a great supernatural, sexy thriller, and Matthew McConaughey is really going to reach deep down and find a very multifaceted and layered performance, be it hero or villain.
Oh, Mike, that was awesome.
now I want to see this movie.
Max.
You know, the character Walter O'Dim is misunderstood, and that's the character that the villain that Matthew McConaughey would be playing. So he's very misunderstood. He's a tragic character, and we're just gonna get to the roots of it. We're gonna dig deep, and I would like him to play the villain over the hero in this one before I get carried away with all this stupidity. I don't know that. Yeah, I think he'd be better for the villain role, and the hero's name's Roland Deschain. In the Dark Tower series, I read the whole thing. I like it a lot. I'm hoping that they do well by it. I'm a little nervous because it's your classic Stephen King story where it starts off really cool. He sets up a bunch of sweet shit, describes everything to like minute detail, and then the shit goes off the rails. But so like they're gonna have to tweak it a little bit. There's definitely no way it could go from the book to a movie whole, or they're gonna have to leave.
Well, the rumor was they wanted to make a whole series of movies, but of course the first one has to do well.
Right. I mean, like everything's a fucking trilogy now, but even still, I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff in here.
That's generally the rule with Stephen King, isn't it, though?
Actually, thinking about it, I want to see the film version of The Drawing of the Free. Like the second or third book, because that would make no sense at all.
Yeah, I think it's the second book, but yeah, dude, I mean, the first book is just a western, pretty much. Like that's all you really need to do is a fucking western, and then he's fighting monsters and jumping through dimensions and yada yada yada. So I mean, it's all over the place. It's science fiction, fantasy, western, all rolled into one.
That's it. Too much to describe, Max.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a 7-book series, and the books just get longer and longer as you go. So it's just so much stuff. I mean, like George R. takes the Game of Thrones. How much stuff did they cut out of those? Just because the books are so long, and we're gonna have the same thing here. There's just stuff that's got to go.
And they have much more time to actually tell those stories for the books.
Yeah.
So, very true.
I'm worried about if they're just making movies. I know the original plan was movies and a series on HBO or something, but and that would have been able to flesh everything out. But I don't think that's going to happen anymore. So I don't know what they're doing. It makes me nervous.
Yeah, I mean, unless they go the HBO route, right, or the Netflix route and just make a series, but I don't think they'd want to do that. Jason?
Thank you, Philip. I have never read the books. I don't know anything about the books. I do know that I've enjoyed Matthew McConaughey's Renaissance, so I give the property the benefit of the doubt, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. That's all I got.
Well, that's fine. Keep it short and sweet.
All right.
But yeah, so the next topic that I want to go into is more of a question why on my mind, but Tomb Raider Reboot. Apparently the director is I'm gonna murder this because I think he's Norwegian. Roar Uthaug. His biggest movie he directed was The Wave, and apparently it was somewhat liked. Literally the comment was in the article. And then you have the writer, who is Geneva Robertson Dworet. Her big thing was Hibernation, which apparently was panned. And then her next one that's going to get her back into the spotlight, apparently, is Transformers 5. So I'm just going to call this epic fail. And why would you remake a movie that's already been done twice once was at best, and the second one was awful. So, I mean, unless they're going to do something really interesting, I very much doubt it. I mean, they could try doing an Indiana Jones movie, but they seem to try and not do so well. So, I don't have faith. I really don't. Let's see. Who do we want to pick on? Max? Tomb Raider Reboot.
You say why do the Tomb Raider reboot? I say why not? This is a fantastic opportunity to explore the depths of the human character through the eyes of this, adventuring, strong female human character. She takes dumps. We're gonna get to there.
She takes dumps. I like it.
Yeah, man. Like. She takes dumps same as everybody else. We're showing that in the movie.
Oh, that's awesome, Max. Dan.
Yeah, I got two things. One, with this pedigree, I mean, this has to be a great movie. I mean, some Swedish director we don't know, and Transformers 5 actors. I mean,
Yeah.
What is not to love here?
He's Norwegian. And it just makes a lot of sense that a Norwegian would make a movie called The Wave.
It does not, however, make a lot of sense to have a Norwegian guy make Tomb Raider. This should go to Uwe Boll.
Oh.
Because he makes such great video game movies.
Oh.
Have you seen Alone in the Dark? That's the greatest comedy I've ever seen.
That was
Really?
the first movie I ever stopped a quarter of the way through because I was just done watching it.
Yes, I'm right there with you, Max. That was the first movie I ever had to stop watching as well.
On a side note, I have to make a comment on Jason's Matthew McConaughey's Renaissance. I thought of that as Matthew McConaughey in the Renaissance with like a turkey leg, and and it just made me laugh a lot. That's all.
With a lute, and he's a skipping minstrel.
I'd watch that movie too, Dan.
Exactly. That's a movie that needs to be made. So
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Take all that like German tax break money that you're doing Tomb Raider with, and make that with it.
You take did anyone ever play the game A Bard's Tale for Xbox?
Yes.
Yeah, steal that, make it into a movie. Matthew McConaughey, there we go.
So, Mike?
Only saw like half of the first Tomb Raider movie, never saw the second one. I'm sure the reboot will be a sexy, suspenseful heist thriller. It will be a heist thriller, actually, because she's a Tomb Raider, so there we go. It makes more sense than the friggin' Gambit movie.
You're out of the loop. They actually haven't had tombs in Tomb Raider since like the third game on the PS1.
They brought him back, Dan. They brought him back. Jason?
It makes sense because Disney is gearing up to do Indiana Jones 5. The studio is getting this on the back burner, so they have a movie to put out right around the same time. I mean, for marketing, it makes sense as far as it could work. It really could. It's not going to because they're not going to do it right, but it could work. The fact that they're making it from a corporate money-making point, it makes sense because you get it out there maybe a month before or a couple months before Indiana Jones, you'll cash in on some of that buzz, and if they make it cheap enough, it's a good studio move. But as far as from a consumer standpoint, I have zero interest.
Come on, man. But yeah, I agree. Plus, I can't remember. I was trying to look up the news. There was an Uncharted movie that was being made based off the game. I don't know if that fell through or is still happening, because I wouldn't be surprised if all three of those don't happen roughly around the same time. Max?
Do you think that the movie is going to be the Uncharted dude versus Lara Croft? It's going to be Indiana Jones. He got them both together and stuck them on an island. They have to kill each other to like escape the island, and it'll just be like the battle of the adventuring people.
That would be awesome. That might actually be an entertaining movie, Max, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. But all right. So we have the Legion TV series. So I don't know much about Legion. So maybe Max, Mike, or Dan can kind of fill me in on this. I don't know if Jason knows too much either. But apparently, what they were trying to do is they're going to say this TV series is going to be on FX. It's part of the, I guess, XMen universe. And it's going to be their version, or the superhero version, that's what the right word choice was, the superhero version of Breaking Bad. I didn't understand what that meant. I tried to read the article to get more of a concept of what this guy was trying to say. Best guess is innovative, because it didn't seem like it was going to be that detailed, but maybe it is. Maybe there's a depth of character to these characters that's possible to bring to the screen that's very adult-oriented. I don't know. Max?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Legion either, but I'm assuming that it's going to be a sexy heist kind of thriller TV show. I was reading. Yeah, it's about a schizophrenic who realizes that the voices are real. So I guess he's not schizophrenic, and he can tap into powers somehow. This show is going to be stupid. I am not looking forward to this at all. Not only is it like not a like I shouldn't say it's not like a followed or an established property, but like it's still C-list at best. So I don't know that they're gonna do much with this, and it's Fox, so they're pretty fucking terrible, and they've shown that they're pretty terrible time and time again. So like I really don't care what and if they're boasting that it's the Breaking Bad superhero show, then it's probably just I don't know, maybe they're saying like they broke all the cameras with how bad the show was. Or they broke the bank with how bad the show. Like I think it's just some play on words. That's what it's got to be. Is a weird play on words.
Dan?
I'm going to be the counterpoint to Max here, because after reading the article and not knowing anything about Legion at all, I mean, this is really, truly going to be about real people who are truly flawed. No, I have no idea. I kind of hope it'll be a cool show and not be like that really bad Walking Dead ripoff. I think it's still on Netflix. It's really, really bad. I forget the name of it, but go watch that.
I'm not sure which one. I'm not sure which show you're talking about. Maybe it was one of those like zombie shows that they try to do all at the same time.
Yeah, it's done by maybe FX or something, but Max said C show, and that's what jumped in my mind.
Nice. Mike?
It sounds like a very generic, promising property that is still in development and is being hyped up and compared to stuff that's come before, as is the case whenever you have a property that's in development and no one has anything substantial to talk about other than we want to do this. Yeah, fine.
Jason?
You hear so many new shows, they come out and they're like, this is the next Breaking Bad, this is the next whatever the previous hot show was, this is the next Arrow, this is the next Flash. Every time they say this is the next something, this is the next Twin Peaks, it's not. It never is. It's going to be canceled after 4 shows because they've already raised, when you throw out a show like Breaking Bad, which is probably arguably could be considered one of the best show of all time, and you compare it to this new show, you've raised the expectations of the audience, whether the audience knows better or not. They're still coming at it like, oh, this is going to be the next Breaking Bad, and it's not going to be. You're going to be hard-pressed to find the next Breaking Bad or the next Wire or the next Sopranos.
Yet, if they're like, this is going to be the next Days of Our Lives, then, I'm definitely not watching.
But you know what I mean? Just say, this is going to be a good show, or check out what we got coming. This is, whatever. Don't compare it to one of the best shows of all time. It doesn't make sense marketing-wise, especially like Mike said, it's in development right now. They probably haven't wrote a script yet. and you're telling us that this is the best, like the new Breaking Bad. Give me a break. Give me a break. I'm stealing Max's line. Give me a break.
From me.
I don't know. That's stupid. Like I said with the Tomb Raider thing, that's good marketing. Put it out with Indiana Jones. Great idea. This is stupid. This is stupid.
We should start making, like calls. It's like, okay, this is gonna get 6 episodes in before they cancel it. 7 episodes, yada yada yada. How long do you think Supergirl's gonna go? You think it makes it the whole season, or like?
I actually like it. So.
You would like it, dude. I watched 5 minutes of that show and it's fucking terrible.
I do like it. The ratings are really strong on it.
It'll make the whole season.
The ratings are really strong on Gotham last year too. You remember that dumb shit?
Well, yeah.
It's better than Gotham.
It is doing better than Gotham.
You just don't like anything, Max. Come on.
It's no Ash versus Evil Dead, but it's a fun show. And it's giving Dean Cain work. I'm enjoying watching Dean Cain work.
Dean Cain was doing fine on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
He was doing fine on Ripley's Believe It. That was on the other day. I watched it for like 5 minutes. I was like, hey, there's Dean Cain. He's working.
No, what I don't like about that show is Supergirl can't throw a punch.
Well, she's not supposed to be. That's the thing I like about the show is, like with a lot of superhero stuff, they just suddenly become the superhero. And they did it in The Flash, too, which is one of the reasons I like The Flash. You actually get to see them become the superhero and actually learn how to fight and stuff instead of just, I suddenly know how to fight because I got these superpowers.
No, it's not like she spent her whole life being a little girly girl. It's like she's here now. She's got all this alien knowledge and technology. Like, what's going on? She can't throw a punch. She can throw a punch.
Max. That's awesome.
She'd be able to throw a punch. I'm sorry.
So this last one I kind of wanted to bring on as an interesting topic. I disagreed with the guy, but after I read it, I was like, okay, I can see his point. But basically what he was commenting was there should be a new rating between PG-13 and R. And his recommendation was T14. More for the fact, I can kind of get how he was stretching it. What he basically was selling it as was, well, this is because so many movies that don't want to be R but want to market to everybody, right, try to get to PG-13, so they cut things and expose, I guess, 13-year-olds? I don't know. I don't know if they actually I guess they don't card for PG-13. I have no idea, honestly. It's been too long since I've been 12 and wanted to go see a PG-13 movie by myself to know what really happens. Because when I first read the line, I was like, this is stupid. Why would you do this? I was like, and then as I read it, I was like, okay, whatever, I see your point, but why the hell would we keep PG-13? Just get rid of PG-13, use T14, and say only teens can enter, if we're really that concerned. Are we really worried about corrupting the youth? I don't know. I'm not. I don't have kids. We're going to let Jason go.
You can't monitor that. Like, it's R or PG, like, fucking get rid of PG-13. You can't monitor PG-13. It's just there for a parent to whether you don't need PG-14 or 15 or 16 or 47. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. It is stupid. What's that?
I like 47.
I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. When I was younger, my friend Tam and I, we went to the Dollar Theater to see Biodome, and the guy actually carded us. And I mean, I wish that we had just left and not actually watched the movie. But we stayed and we watched the movie. But this guy carded us, and Tam's like, how are we supposed to show you that we're 13 years old? Like, we don't have any identification. It was the dumbest thing. It's dumb. It's stupid. I don't like it. Max?
Well, you just kind of took my whole rant.
I mean, that's the way. Jason's the Max.
It's so, it's like the celebration of mediocrity even more, it's just like just adding redundancies for no reason. T14. So I mean, like if he would have said T16 or something like that, then I would. But then the age for getting into R movies is 17.
Yeah, 1 year.
You got to shoot in the middle of that too. So 15 years old. This is for teens, 15 and up. Then what's the point? It's absolutely pointless. It's just like What we need to do is get the MPAA to fucking lighten up and stop making everything rated R, because of like a little bit of blood or a little bit of sex, like, or somebody said fuck twice. Like that's just so stupid. What they need is to revamp the whole rating system versus adding more categories in there. This is like the Oscars adding more awards. Like, oh, we need awards for everything now.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid, Max. It's stupid. I got an idea. Let's do PG-1, PG-2, PG-3, PG-4, PG-5, and let's just go all the way up to 21.
No, but after you do that, you also have to get the government to start issuing IDs to all these people every year.
Congratulations on your newborn baby. Here's his ID. Now he can go into PG-1 movies. And every day you're on your birthday, they send you another one. Here's your PG-2 card. You can go watch fucking Wiggles.
You gotta go wait in line. They're gonna send you shit.
Oh my gosh.
Just get
I'm
done.
You're done?
I'm not gonna talk anymore. Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
Dan.
On an angry night, this would have given me like the best rant ever. But I have 2 points. One, the MPAA is extremely political. So, I mean, and they basically make you play ball with them when they rate your movie. And combine that with how pussified our society is now. Like, you guys have seen Airplane, right? No?
Yeah,
Max?
a lot.
Yes.
That was rated PG.
Yep.
You had, like, frontal nudity, and a whole lot of naughty jokes. Now, you could argue that was before they made it PG-13, but it still would have been PG-13. With nudity, swearing, and a whole lot of toilet jokes. Now, I mean, if you have any of that, it's just R. You can do like the scary movies, but then you always make like the unrated version, which has like the extra 4 minutes in it of stuff that they wouldn't let me PG-13.
Yeah, it's just the extra 4 minutes of dick jokes that you had to cut out.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And secondly, they charge so much for tickets that the only crowd that they have to cater to pretty much are people going on dates, people who want to see like the latest anime movie and sleep through it, and teenagers that have like the most disposable income because their parents want them out of their hair. So where do they go on Friday night? The movies. So everything has to be PG-13. And that's why we don't get cool movies anymore.
Okay, so
I can go on, but that's my rant.
We're going to combine them both. It's going to be PG-13 R, or PG-13 PG-13, or PG-13 PG.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, not to break up the rant, but we actually have got a few comments and Q&As from Omnipresent Samurai, and apparently when I leave the Q&A tool and select it to answer and come back, it goes away. But I do appreciate all the comments you've been leaving. But we do have one question, which is, I don't know how many of you all are familiar with this, but are you all familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's, the video game? So I've got a shake and head yes for Mike, so that's yes. I don't see anything, and Dan is too, as am I. I don't know if there's enough content to turn that into a full movie. I could see maybe like a YouTube video of like 15, 20 minutes where you could get some.
There's enough content there for an Uwe Boll movie.
Yes, but you don't want to do that.
They're making a movie. They're making a Five Nights at Freddy movie.
Oh, they are? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was confirmed 3 or 4 months ago. I thought we talked about it.
I don't remember this.
We might not have.
Supposedly, there's a whole lot of backstory to it. I don't know if they would just like string it along instead of giving you like little tips how long that movie would actually take, but you could pad it out to feature film. What the hell?
That's true. I mean, I definitely think there's some interesting, scary moments that you can pull from that. It's a lot of jump scares is really what the game's based on. But I think a lot of the tension it builds is because you're playing and you can't do much movement. You literally move your head, you can shut doors, and you can turn on lights. That's it. That is literally all the tension they're building. Yes, exactly, Max. That is your personal horror movie in a game that just gives you no control.
Does it explore the inherent humanity of all the ghosts and zombies or whatever that you're fighting? Or like, do you touch on their base sexy heist thrillerness?
I wouldn't call it a sexy heist thrillerness, but they do indeed have flawed personalities.
It's going to be rated T14.
That's how you sell it. And Omnipresent Samurai just said it's 4 games and over 30 years of content. So it definitely sounds like there's enough there that they could turn something into it. Mike, any thoughts?
Nope.
All right.
Well, I mean, I really want to see the first. I mean, Mortal Kombat, that masterpiece of a film, was standing. I really want to see a good video game movie, and I'm hoping that Warcraft will be the start of that. And maybe Five Nights at Freddy could be one of those too.
Yeah. So yeah, he just basically said, "I guess." Oh, and he absolutely agrees with you, Jason, on Warcraft.
But you guys forget the Super Mario Brothers movie, which was perhaps the greatest cinema ever made.
No, Mortal Kombat is the greatest video game movie ever made.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation is the greatest.
You shut your filthy whorish mouth.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Why not Street
Fighter
Fighter
at best?
Street Fighter
Guilty pleasure
way
best.
better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
All right, Max. This is a tough one. Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Mario.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation is way
Really?
worse than Mario is.
Ah, dude, I
Whoa.
disagree. With respect.
No
No,
way.
because it is because Mortal Kombat Annihilation was still like Mortal Kombat. Mario had nothing to do with Mario.
That's true. Did any of you guys ever see Mike's review of it on his? Was it your Blip channel, Mike?
Yup.
It was good stuff. Good stuff. Mike ripped into that movie for like 20. I think that was the first Mike video I ever showed you, wasn't it, Philip? Yeah, he rips into Mario.
I love it.
Mario's so bad.
Oh yeah, it is.
There's been more than one Tekken movie, hasn't there? I think I've seen 2. They're all like straight to DVD.
Yeah, you mean the animated ones, or the live action ones?
The live action ones.
Okay, I've only seen one of those, but there are probably more.
Probably are.
Oh man.
Maybe someday they'll get it right.
Maybe we shall see. And Mike, did you want to touch on the T14 topic? Give you that chance to rant, or be?
I don't care. It doesn't matter because, stuff's available all over the internet and streaming for whatever, and kids can get into that stuff just as easily, so whatever. Who gives a shit about this MPAA stuff anymore?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's starting to be. I think it will become antiquated because, well, at least it won't become antiquated as far as the movie theaters. But you're going to end up with access, and how are you going to control that? Because you're going to tell a kid to be honest when he's on the internet. That's going to happen. I remember when I was a teenager, I lied all the time. What? You won't let me in here? How old do I have to be? 18. All right. What year was that? What year do I need to be born to be 18? Done. Max?
Are you talking about when you used to look up porn on the computer, dial-up?
Yeah, not just porn.
Birthday?
Rated R content. Oh, I can't go see a liquor website because I have to be 21, which doesn't even make any sense to me. Like, I can't see advertising for liquor because I'm not 21. I see that shit in magazines and TV.
They've gotten better now, Philip. Now you have to check a little box before you hit enter once you type in your birthday. So now you type in your birthday and you click the little box. See, they're getting you now. They added an extra step.
Nice. I like it.
Yes, I promise that I'm over the age of blank.
Exactly. That's what we all do.
But if they implemented our, yearly state ID, then you could have to scan your ID in, and they would know for sure.
Oh my God. I don't know. That's just No, I don't want to turn. I don't want this place to turn into that. That would be awful. It's just because I'm sure following that we'd end up with retinal implants that age with us, and then as we have to put up our eye up to our computer to get scanned. Wait, oh, you're permitted. You can come in. Because that would stop all of this.
None of it would actually work.
And we just go blind.
And nobody would ever be able to use their computers ever again.
You actually have to fill out a written test about how broad a person you are. And see, that's
nice.
Acting.
Yeah.
Acting.
We're video game news. I can tell we're at that point.
Hold on. We got a confirmation for Columbus Comic-Con. The first celebrity to confirm. Can anybody guess?
Let's go with the Green Ranger.
Yes! Jason David Frank will indeed be in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh my.
Doesn't have anywhere else to be.
That's all we got so far as celebrities go. So.
It is a little early, so I'm sure we'll get some more soon. But all right. So the big game releases this week were, the big game was Star Wars Battlefront. I know Mike has been gaming that all up today. We can probably hop on over to Mike and kind of give us his opinion. No?
I'm enjoying it so far. I got the Xbox One version, and yeah, I mean, definitely the multiplayer is where the most fun is at right now. So, because there, like you were mentioning even before the cast started, like there really isn't a campaign to go through. They just have a bunch of like missions, random, and they have a bunch of training missions to like learn how to master the vehicles and things like that. But the multiplayer is like where the most fun is at. I think the two maps I've been doing the most on is Supremacy and Flight Squadron, whatever that is, where it's basically the best of both. It's like capture the flag on the ground, but then also like defend your transports in the air and so forth. And then, but the cool thing about Supremacy is that you're able to incorporate a little bit of everything. That you can summon vehicles and control vehicles, like what do they call them, the ATST, the chicken leg walkers. You can set up gun turrets everywhere. You can call upon. It was really kind of funny to see someone call upon the Emperor in the Hoth sequence, because then you got all these white stormtroopers running around, but then all of a sudden here comes this black robe dude shooting lightning at everybody. It gets really one-sided though once they're able to bring up a lot of the heroes and villains into the fight on a regular basis. Though I'm kind of wondering, like, wow, they're bringing these guys up unnervingly quick. Is there some cheating or hacksaws going on there? But whatever, it's lunacy, it's fun. Hopefully, I can still get the merit. Like I said, the multiplayer is basically holding my attention right now. The graphics are good, and the combat system I think is okay, but yeah, multiplayer is where it's at.
Do you play in first person or third person?
I alternate. Well, when I'm on the ground with a troop, it's in third person, but when I'm in the air with an X-wing or an interceptor, I alternate between third person and first person, just depending. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to manage in first person.
Nice. Yeah, so I played a little bit. I played some of the training missions. I tried to learn how to fly. I've not succeeded yet. But I definitely played the multiplayer, and I agree with you, Mike. Oh my god, that's just a lot of fun. I haven't played much of it. I've only played maybe about a half hour to an hour. Yeah, so it's definitely worth a check out. I mean, it's a lot of fun. If you love Star Wars, if you love the lore, you'll enjoy the game. It does kind of suck that there's no campaign, but I think there's enough content for $60. I mean, I definitely think it's worth your time if you're going to enjoy a first or third person shooter, because you do alternate. And actually, Max, I play in first person. I still haven't gotten into the third person shooter. That's just never been me.
First person's for losers. Me and Mike now.
And Omnipresent. Yeah, definitely. I never got a chance to play the beta. So I did hear it was glitchy, but and it's interesting that they were able to recoup, but I think that's generally the point of the betas. And then you get a few other releases. Deadpool re-release, if you remember that game from like a few years back. They're cashing in on the Deadpool, so it's the game that came out on 360 and PS3. I want to say, what was that, like 2 or 3 years ago? At this point,
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, I want to say even 2013, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same game as the Wolverine game that came out, like the Wolverine Origins game. It's like pretty much that same deal, sort of like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, you like run around, you got a little guy there, you do some stuff, you kill bad guys. It gets kind of repetitive, you know.
But do you get into the minutia of the character and the multi-layered, story arc and so forth?
It is a sexy, thrilling kind of heist kind of game, so it does have that going for it.
Oh, we just keep circling right back around. I love it.
It's the theme for the night.
Exactly. And then you've got the latest Wii U game, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. I tried to find a few reviews. I didn't find anything too conclusive. Pretty much it said it's a decent Mario Tennis game. You have a little bit more of, I guess they added some power-ups. You can jump up. I don't know if you've heard too much more about it, Dan.
I don't really get into Mario Tennis that much. But yeah, apparently in this one you get the mushrooms to make you really big, so you can like smash the ball into the other court. That's all I've really seen about it.
I gotcha. Yeah, I didn't see too much. Yeah, it was interesting to see the. Yes, actually, that came out to. Actually, I think it comes out Friday. Is actually the release date. Omnipresent Samurai. And then you have Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, 3DS, which is an interesting title. I read about it. It seems to be you take first or third person, but anyways, you take the role of the Pokemon and you're exploring these dungeons, and they are randomly generated.
So you don't get Pokemons and enslave them and make them battle their brethren and family for supremacy?
No, Max. In fact, you are a Pokemon.
Yeah, that's lame.
And you got to run around and befriend other Pokemon.
If I'm not subjugating an entire species, then I'm not having fun.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
This is brought to you by PETA.
And then, let's see, the other one that I'm kind of adding here, because Dan reminded me, is Dragon Quest 7 and 8 are coming to the West for 3DS. So for those of you that love the Dragon Quest games, they're actually finally coming out. So it'll actually be interesting.
Dragon Quest 7 comes out. It is the greatest game ever made. So go buy a 3DS and just buy the game. It's a $200 purchase, but that game takes forever to beat. So there you go.
The game costs $200?
Well, the system and the game.
Okay, I was about to say, fuck that.
No. Yeah. The game is so big that it just includes all the DLC you would ever have.
Nice. I like it. So that's it as far as video game news that I've got. Max, I know you have a little bit of comic book news.
Yep, a little bit of comic book stuff here. Let me pull out the old notes. All right. Yeah, there's a brewery called Arcade Brewery. They make beer called Six Pack Stories, which is a beer. It's a six-pack of beer, but it's got comics, like single panel comics on all the cans and on the box. So they got their next one is gonna have Darwin Cook and Jimmy Palmiotti penned and wrote some comics for the next batch coming out. It's called Dutch Courage. If you're in the Chicago area, you can try that out. I just thought it was pretty cool that they're putting comic books on beers now, so like you can read as you drink, and the story just either gets better or worse depending on how drunk you are.
Nice, I like it.
Yep, that's good times. And then Dan Abnett is taking over the Aquaman book at DC, and he was the writer on my favorite Galactic Marvel run, so I'm excited to see that. Hopefully Aquaman won't suck for once.
All right.
So, yeah, that's all I got.
That's all you got? All right. Yeah, and I had not seen the Nintendo Direct. I haven't really kept up with that. I don't know if you keep up with that, Dan.
Oh, one cool thing about that is that Smash Brothers is getting Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Woo!
I don't know why. Well, it's kind of a dig at Sony because that was always Sony's thing.
That is very true. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to kind of see. But yeah, that's definitely going to be kind of cool for the Smash Brothers. If you're playing, you have at least a new character you can kind of test out. I wonder if that means they're going to release an amiibo. That would be interesting. That'd be even a bigger dig at Sony at that point. But so I think that wraps up our cast for tonight. Check out Mike McG at Mike McG TV. And check out all his lovely channel and everything he's got going on over there. I don't know what his latest video is. Jason usually has that update.
I don't think Mike, have you made a video recently?
Not since the reaction to the Force Awakens Japanese spot. No, I've been slacking.
All right.
God, I feel you.
So we've all been busy, but so I'm still trying to work on what's going on with our website. We're having upload issues as a result of that. We still are not populating in iTunes or Stitcher. I'm hoping to have that resolved by next week, but we'll definitely keep let you know. If you are liking the cast, please feel free to leave us a like on YouTube and leave on any comments. And as well, if you want, you can actually join our cast and comment and ask questions, and we'll respond to you as we get the chance. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good night.